Welcome back, most curious Ken, to Herb of the Month, presented by Hidden Hollow Holistics. This month, we are diving into Dandelion. For those that don't know me, my name is Juanita, but most people call me Wani. My work centers around life, loss, and liminality, honoring the transitions and transformations that define our human experience. I have been reflecting on the kind of person I want to be and how I want to show up in the world. This is not a new thing. This is something that I often kind of pull out and look at to see whether or not I'm in alignment. And this past year, my thoughts have really been around community, what community means to me, and how I can show up in a way that is both meaningful and sustainable. And so these are gatherings that I've done in my local community. But as sharing is an act of caring and a way of tending to our neighbors and weaving stronger connections between us, I wanted to find something that was accessible to all, which is why these are now on YouTube. So, and I think the biggest reason why I wanted that is because I wanted to give something that sparked curiosity, invited exploration, and really remind us that the land that we walk on holds medicine for us all. So, without further ado, let's jump into dandelion. Dandelion is known botanically as Taraxacum officinale. So, let me just remind everybody that this is, all language is made up. If I mispronounce a dead language, I do apologize. I'm sure somebody somewhere is much smarter than me will give you the correct pronunciation. I would introduce you to Google and it will take you to where you need to go. Actually, I'm sure there's some places on YouTube that you can really hear these words. So just to let you know. So the root of taraxacum finds its roots in Greek words taraxacos, meaning disorder, and akos, meaning remedy. It's a very fitting etymology for dandelion, which is a plant long cherished for bringing balance where there is imbalance. It's got a host of names, and if you have been following me for a minute, you know that I like to include anything from the Chinese lineage, the Ayurvedic lineages, as well as my own Central America, South America lineage. And if possible, I also include any names that I'm aware of from the Irish, Scottish. So have not found those. That doesn't mean there isn't specific names for them, but I have not written that there. So I've also included the family. This family actually holds the daisy family, the sunflower family, and the aster family as well. This is used or worked with in all parts. I don't like to use the word use just because it's very capitalistic and predatory. So I like to say we work with all parts. They can all provide their own medicine. While you generally see people talk about the roots, the flower, or the leaves, the sap within the stem has also been mentioned as a topical remedy. So we see the life cycle of the flower here, which I don't know about you, but I've been working with the flower my entire life. But I love this visual of bud to seed. It is just a magical thing to watch unfold and does so very quickly. So, historically speaking, dandelion has often been overlooked as a mere weed. However, if you see on the roundup, this is usually the weed that is put on those bottles. Everybody is trying to get away from dandelion, but it actually holds a deep and wide-ranging medicinal legacy. It was first noted in the Arab physicians in the 10th century, honored in ancient Chinese texts. It has been embraced across cultures as both food and medicine. Its migration from Europe and Asia into North America did not dampen its reputation. Instead, it took root and flourished. From salads and wines to roasted roots brewed like coffee, dandelion nourishes in humbling yet potent ways. Medicinally, it's been valued for liver health, digestion, inflammation, skin conditions, and blood sugar regulation. In Ireland alone, there are over 2,400 folk references to it, and its therapeutic role was well recognized by institutions and herbalists in Mexico and Europe alike. Whether as a tonic, a diuretic, or a digestive aid, dandelion continues to bridge that the ancient with everyday and herbal practice. And I just find this is amazing. And I am sure that as you continue to explore dandelion, you're going to find out some amazing historical things that can be brought up in your specific region and culture. So the energetics of dandelion are cool, dry, tonifying. The roots are bitter and can have a semi-sweet note when they're dug up in the fall. The leaves are bitter, slightly salty and earthy. Again, that mineral-rich content. Flowers are sweet and honey-like in flavor. So the herbal actions of dandelion are going to be, they're an alternative. So they definitely support the body's natural processes of renewal, helping it restore balance and vitality and overall well-being. These herbs are sometimes called blood or lymph cleansers or tonics, really pointing to their role in gently supporting the body's detoxification systems, particularly in the liver and kidneys for dandelions specifically. Um, so they're very nutritive. It's a very nutritive herb. It has the high vitamins and minerals. That's why you have that slightly salty taste. That's where that's coming from. They help to nourish and ultimately sustain life. Um, as a diuretic, it really helps the body get rid of excess sodium by increasing the amount of fluids we're getting rid of through our urine. As a cholagogue, it stimulates the production and release of bile from the liver and the gallbladder. This really refreshes and cleanses these organs, as well as increases bile in the small intestines. The choleritic herbs are those that increase the volume of bile produced by the liver, again, helping the body to detoxify and eliminate toxins. The flowers specifically are exhilarants. They bring joy, ease grief, and enliven the spirit. Dandelion's tenacity in the natural world beautifully mirrors its role in the emotional and spiritual landscapes. This plant doesn't just detoxify the liver, it softens compacted places within us, just like it does in the soil. So, old grief, hardened stories, and held emotions, its bright flowers invite joy and hope, while those bitter leaves and deep roots help us relieve what no longer serves. Spiritually, dandelion stands between the seen and unseen, carrying our intentions like its seeds on the wind. Whether used in ritual or simply observed in nature, dandelion offers a deep transformative medicine, reminding us that even what's considered common can be profoundly sacred. Dandelion is a full spectrum plant ally. Its cooling, dry nature makes it ideal for moving stagnation and restoring balance. The root works deeply to support the liver and digestion, helping the body clear waste and renew itself. The greens, with their bitter bite, get things moving, stimulating appetite, digestive juices, and energy. Its long-standing work with skin conditions speak to its purifying gifts, while the flowers and their subtle sweetness support the heart and circulation. And with its dense nutrient profile, dandelion nourishes deeply, especially when we're recovering from stress, depletion, or disease. It's a humble week with wise and generous medicine. So, Dandelion's spirit bridges worlds. It invites us to commune with ancestors and loved ones through ritual, whether as smoke, tea, or as a single breath carrying seeds and sentiment. I don't know about you, but I've been wishing on the dandelions my entire life. If I think about one herb that I've worked with the longest, it is probably dandelion from that spiritual aspect of wishes. In the language of flowers, it is love and longing, faith and grief, sun and shadow, all at once. But what makes dandelion truly magical is its quiet transformation of environment. It softens hardened soil, invites renewal, and changes what no longer serves into nourishment. It's rooted in the kind of magic we all need, resilient and full of grace. Culinary quest. Let me just say, dandelion gifts extend far beyond the apothecary. Its leaves, flowers, and roots are a testament to its ancestral ingenuity and everyday magic. From those bitter greens in the springtime that we can add to salads, to the golden blooms that find their way into wine, honey, and even ceremony, this plant weaves nourishment and celebration together. Its deep roots, roasted and brewed since the Middle Ages, still serve as a warming, caffeine free alternative to coffee, often joined by chicory, a kindred bitter. In folk tradition, dandelion and burdock brewed together offered both refreshment and gentle medicine, bridging the line between pleasure and healing. There are even new creations like dandelion fritters, making this herbal ally into a savory fried treat. While dandelion is a gentle and generous plant ally, it's important to approach it with the same reverence we bring to any powerful medicine. For most, it's a safe companion, but some may experience skin irritations from the milky latex, and those with certain digestive or gallbladder issue may want to avoid internal use. Its drying quality can be too much for already parched systems, so consider pairing it with a moistening ally like marshmallow or linden. And because it does move fluids, be mindful when combining it with medications that do the same. Excuse me. As always, intentional use, not excess, is the root of good herbal practice. When I think about the seasonal wisdom of dandelion, I think about the fact that we've crossed the threshold from winter, that stillness that we find, into spring's awakening, where we see dandelion as that golden beacon of resilience, like it's made it through. Those bitter greens really help stir that sluggish digestion from all of the heavy foods we may have had over the winter and encourage the body's natural cleansing rhythms. While its root remind us always to ground as we grow. This plant asks us, what emotional debris are we still carrying? What must we release to bloom? Dandelion spirit offers both the push and the peace to move forward, breaking through compacted inner soil with gentle determination. In every puff of its seed head, there is a whisper. Transformation is not only possible, it is already underway. And of course, as always, some online resources that help me pull this together. And I do thank you and hope that as you wander, you let curiosity be your light, illuminating unseen paths. Transformation is not a destination, but a spiral ever unfolding. So stay rooted, take what feeds you, and walk with wonder. Until we meet again, stay curious.